Hello my dear friends, welcome to my YouTube channel that is Learning and Programming with Chetan. Friends, in this particular video, we will going to discuss about very important class in Java programming language, and the class about which I am talking about is string. So let us first try to understand about what is string in Java. So string is a class which is present inside java.lang package. So if you see the source code of a string class, then here you can see that it is present inside java.lang package. And string is a final class which implements three interfaces, that is serializable, comparable and character sequence interface. So here in the source code you can see that our string class is by default final, which means that we cannot override the methods which is present inside our string class, and our string class implements serializable interface so that it can be used in the process of serialization, and it implements comparable interface so that it can be used as a key or value in our hash based collection frameworks, that is preset and premap. And our string class implements character sequence interface to represent string as a character of sequence. So if we talk about strings in Java, then string is a sequence of characters, or we can also say that string is an array of characters. Let us try to understand this statement by the help of Java program. So here I have created one class with the name string tutorial, and inside my class I am having one main method, and we will use this main method to understand the concepts related to string class. So in this statement you can see that I am creating an object of string type, and this is the reference variable for our string object, that is string object 1, and this is the value of our string object, that is programming with Chetan. And you can notice that this is the sequence of characters. That's what we have discussed, that string is a sequence of characters. And here in this statement you can see that we are having an array of characters with 4 value of char type, and in this statement we are creating an object of string type by using new keyword, and we are assigning the value of our character array to string class. So that's what we have discussed, that string is an array of characters. Now let us discuss about our next point, that is string is an object in Java. Now if you will ask me that what type of object string is, then string is an immutable object, which means that we cannot change or update the value of our string object. And if we will try to update the value of our string object, then in place of updating the same object, it will create a new object in memory. In this particular tutorial, we will try to understand the basics of string class, and in my next tutorial, we will try to understand about string immutability in detail. Now let us discuss about our next point, that is our string class consists of various inbuilt methods to perform various operations on string values. That is, our string class consists of length method for calculating the length of our string value. For comparison, it consists of equals and equal ignore case methods, and for concatenation it consists of concat method inside string class. So what I mean to say here is that our string class consists of various important methods to perform various operations on string values. Now let us try to understand about various types of string in Java. So our first type of string is string literal. So whenever we create an string object by using double quotes, then that type of string is known as string literal. So in this statement you can see that we are assigning the value programming with Chetan, which is present inside double quotes, and we are assigning this value to our string object with reference variable name as string object 1. So in our memory diagram you can see that our string object 1 is pointing to an object with value as programming with Chetan inside our string constant pool. So whenever we create an object by using string literals, then an object is created inside special memory, and that memory is known as string constant pool. So string constant pool is a special memory inside heap memory that makes Java memory efficient. So whenever we create an object by using string literals, then it will first check that whether an object with the same value is present inside our string constant pool or not. And if an object is not present, then it will create a new object inside string constant pool. And next time whenever we will create an string literal with the same value, then in spite of creating a new object inside a string constant pool, that new reference variable will point to the same object. So in this statement you can see that I am creating an object with same value as programming with Chetan with reference variable name as string object 2. So in our memory diagram you can see that our string object 1 and string object 2 is pointing to one same object with value as programming with Chetan inside our string constant pool. And because of this string literal and pooling concept, it makes Java memory efficient. Now let us discuss about our next type of string, which is created by using new keyword. So here in this statement, you can see that we are creating an string object by using new keyword. And here we are assigning a character array to our string object. So here in our memory diagram, you can see that our string array object is pointing to an object inside heap memory with value as Java, which is the same value of our character array. And at the same time, a new object with value as Java is created inside our string constant pool. Now let us concentrate on these two statements. So here I am comparing our string object 1 and string object 2 by using equality operator, and in our next statement I am comparing our string object 1 and string object 2 by using dot equals method. And in our next statement, you can see that I am creating one more string object by using new keyword. And here I am assigning the value as learning to our reference variable string object 3. So in our memory diagram, you can see that our string object 3 is pointing to an object inside heap memory with value as learning. And whenever we are creating an string object by using new keyword, then it will create two objects, one inside heap memory and second one inside string constant pool. Now let's run our program first. So here in this statement, we are printing the value of our string object 1. So the value of our string object 1 is programming with Chetan. That is why we are getting this value inside our console. And in our next statement, we are printing the value of our string array object. So in memory diagram, you can see that our string array object is having its value as Java, which is equivalent to the value of our character array. That is why in our console, you can see that we are getting this value as Java. And in this statement, we are printing the value of our string object 2. So in memory diagram, you can see that our string object 2 is pointing to an object which is pointed by our string object 1. And its value is programming with Chetan. That's what we are getting in our console. And in our next statement, we are using equality operator to compare string object 1 and string object 2. So in our memory diagram, you can see that our string object 1 and string object 2 is referring to the same object inside our string constant pool. That is why we are getting this value as true in our console. And in our next statement, we are comparing our string object 1 and string object 2 by using dot equals method. So when we compare two objects by using dot equals method, then it is used for content comparison. So our both the objects is pointing to a same object with value as programming with Chetan, and the content of string object 1 and string object 2 is equivalent. That is why we are getting this value as true in our console. And in this statement, we are printing the value of our string object 3. So in our memory diagram, you can see that our string object 3 is pointing to an object with value as learning. That is why we are getting this value as learning in our console. So my dear friends, I hope that you are able to understand that what actually happens when we create string literals and what happens when we create a string object by using new keyword. And in our next tutorial, we will discuss about string immutability concept, and we will also try to understand that why string is immutable in Java programming language.